Why are we still here? Just to suffer. Every night I feel my leg, my arm, even my fingers. The body I've lost, the comrades I've lost, it won't stop hurting. It's like they're all still here. You feel it too, don't you? I'm gonna make them give back our past.
What up, Daily Gang? Daily Kamel here. Today we're going to do another free-to-play deck build, and we're going to be doing Rockets. Now, Rockets is one of my favorite archetypes in Yu-Gi-Oh, and I have been desperately waiting for its introduction into Duel Links. Rockets are a Link Dark Dragon archetype that utilize targeting themselves and your opponent's monsters with effects that sometimes proc destruction to proc their other effects and extend into big Link 4 monsters like Borreload Dragon. Now, Rockets have just been introduced into Duel Links with the Destiny at Hand Varus event, and they are at high potential right now. This is most due to the fact that they have a character with competent skills, as well as a very stacked mini box with some of the archetype's best cards all around. Of course, it would have needed their best cards to even perform in Duel Links in the first place. So it's good that this is the case instead of the deck being extremely underpowered on release like the likes of PDD. Rockets are not the best deck on release, but they are at least competent at fulfilling their strategy, even at some level. So I have been playing Rockets a little bit, and from what you can see in this replay, I have been having a lot of fun on my free-to-play account. But for the sake of this video, to find the optimal list, I needed a template, something to make building this a little more easier. So I went over to DLM and I went over to check out a fellow Daily Gang shooters deck list, the like of Grand Harrier. And now something like this is something that I think I would actually be able to do pretty easily on this account. However, we're gonna have to cut a couple cards just for the sake of the video, and then we can paint the rest of the path from there. So let's get into how you're going to obtain these Rocket cards and make your Rocket deck. So there are two places for us to get Rocket cards. The first is obviously going to be the Lord of Borreload mini box, and this is going to have Rocket Tracer along with Borreload Dragon and Quick Launch, which are the three main powerhouse cards in the archetype. And then all of the other Rocket cards that we really care about are going to be obtainable from unlocking Varus himself and the two event cards from Destiny at Hand Varus. Now, at the release of this video, this should be the last day of the event. However, if you are interested in playing Rockets, you probably have the character already. But as for future occurrences of these events, since this is a main rival character, they're likely going to give the event a rerun the following month. So there will probably be a Varus event again in March, followed up by another one the following month, or they may skip a month. And then after 3 events, every character has its unlock missions put in the gate. So then you won't have to worry about an event coming around, and then all of their event drops will be obtainable via their character and unlock missions. So yeah, if you don't have them around this time, don't worry, in a month, Varus will be back. Now, in the Lord of Borreload mini box, we're actually going to want only 3 specific cards that I mentioned before. We only want 1 copy of Borreload Dragon, and then we do want to get 3 Rocket Tracer if possible and 3 Quick Launch. These 2 super rare cards are the pivotal parts of the deck, and you cannot play them without it. Most free-to-play players, they do struggle with having to go through a box 3 times to get super rares, but I'll show you that, maybe your first week of playing in Duel Links is not the end, and let's see how my pack opening went. Dread Slayer, not good. So guys, what we're looking for here is we're looking for 3 Quick Launch, and we're looking for 3 Rocket Tracer. Borreload Dragon, the UR, is something we only really want 1 of, and, every 10 pack we pull that we don't get Quick Launch or Tracer is a death sentence for us. And oh my gosh, another dead 10 pack. No way, bro. No way. This is crazy. Another dead 3 in a row? 4 plus a Dolce. This is insane. This is crazy. Where are the cards? Please give me both of this one. Oh my gosh, they give me quick launch. Okay, I have to go single packs until I get Rokket Tracer. I can't afford it. Oh my gosh, and look, we do single packs. The next one we get Rokket Tracer. That's it, we reset. It's a glossy tracer. We reset. We got both our SRs. We don't need multiple Borreload Dragon. We reset. Get me out of here. Oh my god, this cursed ass boxy thing. Except what I need. Konami is really making me pay. They saw I made Solomon Gray free to play. They saw I made Goki free to play. They're like, nah, bro, you're not making Rokket free to play on release. It's not happening. God, they gotta give it to me. 5 packs. Oh my god, guys. Konami did not want to give second quick launch for my free to play account, bro. How are the free-to-play boys gonna eat, bro? How are they gonna play Rockets free-to-play, bro? How am I gonna tell them how to play Rockets free-to-play, bro? The Rocket boys, they not go eat, bro. They not go eat. They're gonna be starving for a deck list, bro, out here. 1 click, quick launch, 2 Rokket Tracer. What they gonna do? Now, if you've been watching these free-to-play guides that I've been doing lately, you've probably noticed that something I've tried to do is try to spend all of my free packs on a selection box and see if I get lucky. And on this account, I did go for Crackdown, and I did get lucky and get a Crackdown in my 5 packs that cost me 1,000 gems. And Crackdown has a lot of synergy with Rockets, so if you are a free-to-play player, I would say whenever the selection box comes around, you should most definitely spend 1,000 gems to try to get Crackdown. This is a continuous trap that will let you take control of one of your opponent's monsters, which essentially, this is a face-up trap that will give you control of one of your opponent's monsters on the field, and then the real synergy about this card is that you can then destroy either of these face-up cards with Rokket Tracer. Either the face-up monster that you don't really want, that you probably can't use because it's probably not a Rocket monster, or you can destroy Crackdown, and yeah, it's free real estate. You get free Rockets, you get your opponent's monster. It just synergizes too well. Now, as for the other selection boxes, some of these other cards are being used as well. However, these other cards are nowhere near as easily to get free to play. You can see here the selection box main has 35 packs available free to play out of 60. And then, you know, this is going to take you a ton of gems just to get Ice Dragon's Prison, which is really good in this deck. However, it's just not feasible for you. You need to go through a mini box 3 times, and then we still have to worry about stuff like the extra deck. So the only selection box I'm going to say is worth it are super minis. And yeah, dude, there's only one that matters here. It's Crackdown. Don't go into a selection box other than Crackdown. Okay, on to tickets now. So the ticket situation with Rockets is a little bit more interesting than it was for Goki and Solomon Great. So let's do dream tickets first, and then we'll do regular tickets. So for the ultra rare dream tickets, you do have many options. Of course, there is always good old MST, but I do think that there's going to be a better option for you here, and that is going to come in the form of Forbidden Lance. Dude, Forbidden Lance is a card that not many people who maybe started playing Duel Links recently know about. This card has always been a staple in very aggressive decks that just seek to make themselves unaffected by back row instead of worrying about not destroying it. Well, this works extremely well in Rockets as well, because you can use this card on your first turn to start your Rokket combo, whereas you can do the same with Mystical Space Typhoon. For example, with Forbidden Lance, if you have just Rokket Tracer and Forbidden Lance, you can summon Rokket Tracer, use Forbidden Lance on your Rokket Tracer, and then with your toggle on, you can target your Forbidden Lance for destruction with your Rokket Tracer to summon another Rocket. You can't do that with Mystical Space Typhoon because, you know, you require something to be on the field to destroy to activate that card. Not the case with Forbidden Lance. So this card is extremely versatile, and it makes your cards unaffected by back row, and it will help your Rokket Tracer pop off. So I've already gotten one Forbidden Lance, so I'm going to pick up my second one here. I don't really think that there is anything worth bleh. I really don't think that there is much else worth for you to use. However, there are other variants of the deck that utilize different strategies. For example, some decks decide to completely forego the having to worry about back row and instead decide to play a slower, more trap-heavy version of the deck. In this case, I would recommend you pick up Needle Sealing. Now, while Needle Sealing is in the 50% off gem sale, again, you do not want to be going into Valiant Souls 50% off gems when you have to go through a mini box 3 times. So I would try to make the decision right now if you want to play a more slower trap heavy variant of the deck, or if you would like to play the version that most people are playing right now, which is the Forbidden Lance in the more aggro version. I'm going to play the Forbidden Lance version just because I think that, just a little bit more how the deck is supposed to be played, and I think this is going to mesh better with support in the future. Usually traps and Duel Links, when a deck is very trap heavy on release, it's just because it's missing a lot of its pieces, and I don't think that's something that you want to commit to long term. So moving on to SR Dream Ticket here, we actually have a very good choice, and it's going to be Dragon's Mirror. So Dragon's Mirror is a spell card. It's a pretty old one, and it's in a weird box, which is why I'm suggesting we pick it up. If we look at how to obtain, it is in the Soul of Resurrection mini box. Yeah, that's a weird one, man. Haven't been in there in a minute, and it is also in the Breakthrough Skill mini, but you don't want to be going there again. So you're going to want to pick up Dragon's Mirror. So why are we using Dragon's Mirror? Well, it's because Dragon's Mirror is the best way to bring out your Borreload Furious Dragon, which you get from the Destiny in Hand Varus event. This is going to let you banish fusion monsters from your graveyard as the fusion material. So this is exactly what we want to do, right? Our first play is optimally going to be us synchro summoning with Rokket Tracer or doing a link summon with 2 rockets, and that's going to put 2 rockets in the grave. And the summon requirement for Borreload Furious Dragon is 2 Dark Dragons, and boom, you get your Borreload Furious Dragon, and you get an extra deck monster that you made with your Rokket Tracer. So you get the best of both worlds, 2 boss monsters in 1 turn. So we are going to pick up Dragon's Mirror because of this. We're going to pick up our second Dragon's Mirror. There we go. So something else that you could have done with your SR Dream Ticket is get Necrofusion. A lot of people are playing Necrofusion with the trap version just because Necrofusion is a trap, and unless you fuse on your opponent's turn, pretty nice, but I'm going to say that Dragon's Mirror is better. Okay, so for the UR tickets. Now, I'm going to say that the biggest weakness of Rockets right now is that their extra deck is kind of lacking, especially if you're a free-to-play player. So if you're looking for cards to pick up, basically what you want to do is you want to filter, and we want to just get synchro monsters here because we're looking for level 8 synchros that we can summon with Rokket Tracer, and we can only summon dark monsters via the effect. So there are 3 here. We have Blood Mephiст, Infernity Doom Dragon, and then in 100 Eyes Dragon. We're not using 100 Eyes Dragon. Blood Mephiст is the one that a lot of people were telling me about. And this is going to say, during your opponent's standby phase, you inflict 100 for each card your opponent controls. And then each time your opponent sets a spell or trap, you inflict 150 damage to them. This is not amazing at all. However, having a level 8 synchro monster in your deck is pretty good, and it does allow you to use Dragon's Mirror that much better. That way you don't have to commit to making a Link 2 monster. The other option here is Infernity Doom Dragon. Now, this says, once per turn, if you have no cards in your hand, you can select one monster your opponent controls, destroy that monster, and inflict damage to your opponent equal to half his attack, and it cannot attack during the same turn. Now, this card actually has a pretty good effect, although it will not attack the turn you activate it. I think the goal here in these tickets is to find something that would be beneficial to summon on the first turn of the duel. In Blood Mephiст, albeit it's just dealing your opponent 150 per card they control each turn, and then the spell and trap card setting it does more on your first turn than Infernity Doom Dragon. So what I would do is I would make the distinction between which one of these cards you want, because optimally you're only going to have room for one Synchro Monster in your deck after you get all of the other cards. However, you know, if you're just starting out, you could get both of these guys and call it a day. You know, these are both great options that you could put in your extra deck that you don't have to spend gems on, that you could just have there until you actually do get gems. All right, so now we've got a couple extra deck options. We've got our dream tickets selected. All of our dream tickets are spent. Let's see what our deck looks like and how we're going to improve it. All right, so our deck should be done for the most part. So let's take a look at Grand Harrier's list. All right, Grand Harrier's list, pretty good. And let's see my list. All right, so welcome to Kamel's janky free-to-play Rocket list. So let's go through it and we'll talk about what is different. So very first, noticeably, I only have 2 Rocket Tracer and 2 Quick Launch. And this is purely because of the fact of the time constraints of the video. I basically made this account over the course of 1 week, the duration of the event. And after you build this deck, you will then use this deck in ranked duels, and then you will go back into the box and you will get your 3rd Rocket Tracer and your 3rd Quick Launch. This is not the end. The reason why I stopped here at 2 Tracer and 2 Quick Launch is because this is pretty much where I spent all of my new player gems, and then I did a little bit of grinding afterwards just to show you guys how I would say that the deck is viable in its, you know, skeleton phase. I believe that this, as a free-to-play, you can get to near King of Games with something like this. So let's go through the rest of the deck. We've got 3 Magna Rocket, just like Grand Harrier does. We are playing an extra Silver Rocket Dragon because we are short a rocket in Rocket Tracer, so nothing out of the ordinary there, just playing an extra rocket name that's going to help us out. And then we are also playing 2 Forbidden Lands, just like Grand Harrier. Those were our selection box, excuse me, our dream ticket choices. Silver Rocket Dragon, of course, is from the Destiny in Hand Varus event, which you're going to have to farm, and if you miss the event this time around, you'll just have to wait until the next time. We've got our Quick Launch, like I just said, and then we've got our Dragon's Mirror that we got from the selection box. Oh my god, selection box, second time I misspoke. Our SR Dream tickets. We're playing a Boot Sector Launch so that we can utilize the skill. And now, guys, let's get to the janky stuff. I'm playing Fuse Line, dude, and I'm simply playing Fuse Line just because, I don't know, dude. I needed to fill up the deck, and most people utilize their remaining 5 slots for powerful trap cards like Ice Dragon's Prison, Compulsory Evacuation Device, Crackdown, Bottomless. You know, we have some of those. We don't have all of those. And as for high-powered trap cards that are going to hurt my opponent and help me, you know, Fuse Line is where it's at. So I've got 2 Fuse Line from going through the box, and my luck being so horrendous, I actually went through the box a second time, the entire box. So I have 2 Fuse Lines, so I can play more if I want and maybe take out something like the Mirror Force. I'm also just playing Mirror Force because, I don't know, it's kind of thematic and it's good, and we're not utilizing our limit 1 slot for anything else, you know. The other stuff like Econ and all that, you know, not really going to help me because I want my rockets to be destroyed. So Mirror Force is going to be something cool to whip out on my opponent. Of course, yeah, I'm going to go back down to 1 Fuse Line for now, so keep us at 20. And then I'm playing our Crackdown, dude, that we got super lucky on, actually, from the selection box. And now, if you don't have this card, of course, I would just swap it with another Fuse Line. But we did come up really lucky and get the Crackdown, so this is going to make our deck much better. So, moving on to the extra deck. So, we've got 2 Borreload Furious Dragon. That's because right now, utilizing the Fusion is it is the best strategy for Borrelds. Now, while this is not like your end game, you consistently being able to make Borreload Furious Dragon beside another boss monster, alongside another boss monster, is very, very powerful, and it's what's making the deck playable right now. Now, that may change in the future when we get more powerful cards, but right now, Borreload Furious Dragon is a must-play in the deck. So, let's talk about our Link monsters before we talk about our other things. So we're playing Borreload Dragon, of course, the man himself, the Link 4. This is actually pretty easy to bring out if you play the deck a little differently than most people do. When I was ranking up my account, I was playing straight up just link combo spam, not even trying to bring out the fusion, and I actually made Borreload Dragon a lot. So get creative. Don't always try to adhere to the same combo, and you're probably going to bring them out pretty often. Quad Borreload Dragon is something to bring out your link monsters, to bring out destroy a link monster to special summon more rockets so that you can climb the link ladder. I have literally never used Quad Borreload Dragon on this account or my whale account, so take that for what you will, but I guess it's pretty good. Booster Dragon, I actually love this card a lot. It makes it really easy for you to proc your rocket effects when you really don't want to commit to another boss monster. You kind of just want to, you know, destroy your entire opponent's field with one of your very powerful rocket effects and then chill like that. So Booster Dragon is very good at that, proccing your main deck rocket effects. And then Dillinger's Dragon, this is something that you do get into your graveyard on your third turn via the skill, but you know, we're free to play. Our extra deck is not absolutely stacked right now, so you know, just thinking this is something that you can play. However, if you did buy packs in the Link Revolution box, I would replace Dillinger's Dragon with Link Disciple and Link 1 monster, or if you have Nightmare Mermaid, I would replace that. Put that in here as well, just because I don't have a Link 1 monster because I didn't go into that box, and I don't have Nightmare Mermaid because I don't have the resources from the card trader. So that's kind of what this card is in here, temporarily replacing. So as for our synchros, which you saw us pick them up earlier, we do have our Blood Mephisto and our Infernity Doom Dragon, just simply because we need something to make the synchro play with to have beside the Furious Dragon that's going to make this entire turn 1 combo work. And yeah, that is our Borreload Rocket deck. Now, as for the things that we don't have in the extra deck that you know, you can go after, let's talk about them. Number 70, Malevolent Sin, probably one of the best Xyz monsters in Duel Links. However, we talked about earlier how Xyz monsters don't really synergize too well with rockets, and this is simply a OTK card. You are not summoning Malevolent Sin unless you know that you're going to win that turn, because then you don't have to deal with the side effects of not having your Gokis be sent to the graveyard and be usable for a fusion, and they're not destroyed either. So Malevolent Sin is actually really bad if you're not going to win that turn. So it is simply a win more card, which will help you win duels. Next, we've got Dark End Dragon. This is one of my favorite synchro monsters in Duel Links, and it's probably the best synchro monster for you to use with this deck. And this is a level 8 Dark Dragon synchro that basically says that this card, you can target a monster your opponent controls, send it to the graveyard, and then this card loses 500. Now, you can get this card with your SR Dream ticket. However, I did want to get 2 Dragon's Mirror just so I could actually have the fusion play be consistent, just so I'm not, you know, just hoping to see it sometimes. But definitely another SR Dream ticket good pickup is going to be Dark End Dragon. And our third card is going to be Evil Swarm Nightmare here. This is another SR Dream ticket card. It's a rank 4 Xyz monster. It basically says whenever your opponent's special summons a monster, you can detach a material and flip it down. So this card has 2 materials, and you can use this effect twice per turn. So it is very good at, you know, limiting your opponent's first turn pressure. And this is the best turn 1 boss monster, extra deck monster that you can bring out for Rockets, albeit it is an Xyz monster, right? So again, you're not going to be getting that sent to the grave effect, so you do have to compromise a lot of your turn 1 strategy to go on Evil Swarm Nightmare, but in most cases it is worth it because of how much you can limit your opponent. So dude, that is going to be it for building Rockets free to play. We did it once again, and I would like to know from you guys this time, what deck would you like to see me build free to play next? I'm going to do Infernoid, since that deck is going to be, it should be insanely easy, and I think it's one of the best decks for new players to play in Duel Links. So yeah guys, peace out, and I will see you later. Thanks for watching.